Iceland's prime minister resigned Tuesday, becoming the first major casualty of the Panama Papers revelations. Leaked documents from the Panama-based law firm Mossack Fonseca revealed that Sigmund David Gunnlaugsson owned an offshore company with his wife, which he failed to declare when he entered Parliament. He's accused of concealing millions of dollars worth of family assets. His resignation followed what might have been the largest public demonstrations in Iceland's history, when as many as 20,000 protesters massed in the country's capital outside Iceland's parliament, demanding the prime minister step down.
I'm just protesting the corruption of the government and that the Prime Minister has been hiding his money in Tortola and lying about it. The Financial Minister has also been lying about his participation in secret companies, and everybody is just fed up with this.
On Tuesday evening, protesters returned to the streets of Reykjavik, rejecting the interim setup and calling for fresh elections. Well, to find out more about what's happening in Iceland, we'll go directly there. We're joined by Brigita Yan. She is a member of the Icelandic Parliament and official spokesperson of the Pirate Party, which has seen a surge of support following the publication of the Panama Papers. We welcome you to Democracy Now! By video stream in Reykjavik. Welcome back to Democracy Now! Talk about what has taken place, the resignation of your prime minister, why tens of thousands demanded he resign, and what the Panama Papers means to you.
Yeah, great to be on again, and thanks for having me, Amy. So actually the strange twist of events is that the prime minister has sent an email to all the mainstream media around the world declaring that he is just temporarily stepping down. He is going to resume as a parliamentarian, and he might step in again unless something has happened while I've been waiting to get on this stream. His interim or second in line, the offer that we got for the next prime minister is absolutely not what the Icelandic people are calling for. Even if Sigmund Gunnlaugsson decides to resign as a minister and not only have a temporary leave, that is just simply not enough, because he is not the only minister that is mentioned in the Panama Papers. We also have two other ministers from the other coalition party, the Independence Party. One of them is finance minister and the minister of taxes. So obviously people want him to leave. And the other one is the interior minister, the minister for the judge system and so forth. So people are still very upset. There are planned protests, I guess, until the government leaves. We have prepared a new vote of no confidence, the minority parties in the parliament, that we will put forward immediately after a new government has been formed.
And Brigita, to what do you attribute this huge outpouring into the streets? Because these revelations now have been spreading for several days, and there's outrage in many countries, but people aren't turning to the streets like they have in Iceland. Why is that?
Well, Iceland, unfortunately, is a country in Scandinavia and in Western Europe, is the only country that has sitting ministers in this league. So other countries might have former leaders, but Iceland is the only country in Western Europe and Scandinavia that has ministers that are actually in office now. So I guess that's one of the reasons. But of course, we had, a massive financial collapse in 2008 that really shook Icelandic society, and many people simply woke up. And we had massive demonstrations back then that I was a part of. And like so many other Icelanders, the protests 2 days ago were really unique, because in Iceland, like in many other countries, it is very difficult to get people to come out to protest unless their livelihoods are threatened in one way or another. So this was a protest against what people sensed was the ethical collapse that was revealed by the 1%ers of Iceland. So I can't really describe the feelings I felt to see so many Icelanders actually come forward and in massive demonstration, biggest in our history. Now, to show the rest of the world that not all Icelanders are of the same nature as the leaders of Iceland.
Brigita Jansdottir, you are a member of the Icelandic Parliament. Your party, the Pirate Party, according to one poll, has now 43% support. Is that right? Could you become the next Prime Minister of Iceland?
Well, I haven't, and we haven't really gone that far in our thought process. Yes, a member of the Pirate Party could become the next Prime Minister. And actually, it is very interesting to look at the polls for the last year, because the Pirate Party has been going up in the polls on a steady level, and we've been measured between 35 to 42% in the last half a year. And we've been measured bigger than both of the coalition parties put together that are in governance for a half a year. So it is obvious that the government does not have the support of Icelanders. And this was this sort of, the drop that filled the cup, and it's spilling over the anger towards the type of governance that we've been witnessing. It is important to note that one other minister, the former Interior Minister, was forced to resign a year ago or half a year ago because her assistant had leaked confidential information about a refugee and was found guilty. And it wasn't until he was found guilty that she resigned. But instead of actually showing that they are, have learned from it, they actually made her the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee in the Parliament. So obviously these people that represent the parties that are in power have zero trust by the nation, or very little trust.
And we have only about a minute left, but could you tell us how Iceland has fared since the financial collapse? What's the state of your economy right now?
Okay, so we actually managed to do things right, and we were lucky enough to have a left-wing government that went through the austerity measures. In the wake of the crisis, we were the first Western country to go through an IMF program. We have had capital controls. We sort of closed Iceland off and we publicized, or we took ownership of the collapsed banks again. So we're doing actually quite well. We're in a really sensitive state of lifting the capital controls, and it is imperative that we have people that are lifting the capital controls that the general public in Iceland trust, and the rest of the world.
Brigita Jansdottir, we have to leave it there, but we're going to do a post show with you to find out the platform of the Pirate Party, and we'll post online at democracynow.org. Brigita Jansdottir is a member of the Icelandic Parliament with the Pirate Party. That does it for our show. Our 100-city tour starts tonight at Ithaca College. On Friday, we'll be in Columbus, Ohio, then St. Louis, Columbia, and Kansas City, Missouri on the 9th, Los Angeles and Santa Barbara on the 10th, San Francisco on the 11th, then to Stanford University and Santa Clara on the 12th. Check our website at democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez for another edition of Democracy Now!